Cameras are alive. Audio main is on. All systems are reading green. And, everybody is responding in the chat. So we are still setting things up. This time I'm going to be adminning, so this will be a little bit different than the first one. Feel free to go watch the first replay. Or the first, well, not the first replay, the first series, the first qualifier event. First of all, it's 1 a.m. where I am, so forgive me if I'm a little bit off put in volume here. I'm going to try and keep things a little bit more regulated. gotta monitor my volumes a little bit more normally here. Also going to turn this up here. Still setting things up. Pardon me while I'm setting up matches and whatnot. I am going to be trying to get a lot of people into their games all over the place here. What you can see on the screen right now is effectively... Let me lock this, see if that fixes this. Bar does not like having this superimposed on top of it for some reason. I'm trying to find a fix for it, but currently I don't have one. Anyways, there's a couple of games that I'm going to be setting up here, so that's what you're in for the time being. Okay, who else needs a lobby? Gamer 21 and Outlaw Elite, you two here. Guessing that's CJ. Lob choice. Okay, so CJ OP, so that's going to be set up. That'll be good. All right. Still a little bit of a situation, as always. That's just how it goes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to preemptively set up their lobby. Oh, I forgot you guys could see that. Whoops. Well, chat, I'd really appreciate it if you wouldn't go spoiling the password to everybody. This is not test lobby. Alright, who's this going to be? This is Gamer21, Gamer21A, and Outlaw Elite. It's the GMR21. A and Outlaw Elite versus Outlaw Elite. Oh, I'm not bossed. That's weird. That's weird. Boss. Oh, I have to boss myself, don't I? Watch me fail in live times. Live reaction. There we go. All right, rename Gamer21A versus Outlaw Elite. And then we do preset attorney. There we go. And then we can hit the spectate button. Oh, somewhere around here. Global password for now. Okay, trying to wrangle these cats. Let's try and contact Gamer21A and Outlaw Elite. Your server is ready. In my head, what was going to happen was we were going to have a situation where basically we would set up all the servers and then everyone would join them and then they would play their matches and then the winners would keep their servers and they would be joined by the people of the other bracket, and then the losers would take over the servers that were essentially abandoned. And but apparently that is not what ended up happening here. They don't have very long to respond before I move on and change this to be somebody else's server. If Scuffson is AFK, then Bento's gonna be moving on against Threxy. Is Threxy here is the question. I can't tell because I have it on streamer mode, so I have no idea whose everyone's name is. I guess I could turn it off. There's no way I'm gonna flash anybody on accident. Let's see here. Man, we got a lot of no-shows all of a sudden. All right, Scuffson. It's not showing up. We're gonna have to wait a minute. Wonder if I can. He's trying to figure out how to start the bracket. I'm not sure how to do that either. Hopefully, Desfox can help. Oh, interesting. X Factor Live says global passwords don't work. Try joining my game. I guess Threxy is going to go up against Bento here because Scuffzen is a no-show. If I stayed up for this, Scuffzen could have too. Sleep deprived for the win. Take 10% of the winnings to keep my mouth shut. Yeah, don't bribe me. I'm not getting any of the winnings either, so you know, this is a community event, right? There's a lot of trust that goes into all this. You may be going against Bento as scuffed Zen is no show. Okay. I gotta try and figure out how to control this. I don't know if I can. I don't think I have admin permissions. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have any. I don't think I actually have any admin's permissions. He says he thinks it started. Oh, it is. It does say in progress. It does definitely say in progress. Okay. Yeah. Looks like it's in progress. Nice. Okay, so first things first. Outlaw, elite, and Gamer 21 are no show. Scuffed Zen as well. Meaning that Threxy and Bento are going to be fighting all the way to go to the winner's semifinal. All right, that's a pretty good ride. That means it's one fight for them to go to winner semifinal. Oh boy, what a mess. Looks like Nuke Official and KLKP are getting their match underway here. At the very least, they're trying to. Okay, there we go. Did get a Discord notification. Where did I get a Discord notification from? Is the question. Is it an admin? There it is. You see it by matches. It's an interesting breakdown. Oh, I guess CJOP and Choice are both in progress right now. All right, I'm going to call it at Bento and at Threxy. Let's get you two going, I guess. I'm setting up your lobby. Password is blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to hide it from you, chat. Not like I can. All right, so first of all, play. I gotta... oh, there we go. Rename Threxy versus Bento. There we are. All right. They should be set to join in on this. Apparently the password works. Who responded to that? Bento responded. Threxy said he is getting ready. He said, give me a minute. He will apparently be here, and we might finally have a game underway. We might have done it, folks. Yeah, I'm going to move Bento ahead because, yeah. Oh, was there no password set? Oh, that's weird. Huh. Odd. Been set the whole time. Very odd. Looks like Skag and Snoop are going to be starting their game. Thank goodness. Yeah, I agree. Password situation does seem to be kind of buggy. How long has the stream been going? Well, it was broken into 2 parts, but put together, you know, it's been a whole day's worth of event. Oh man, yeah, the password thing is really a bummer. I'm gonna at Threxy. Server awaits whenever you're ready. Ah, there he is. All right, lovely. Okay, you guys. So we're going based off of true skill here. Map ban starts with highest TS. So Threxy, go ahead. And for everybody else, let me show you the maps real quick. We can take a look over here, and you can see that these are the current maps available for the pool. We have Acidus Crack, Comet Catcher, Red Comet, Paradise Lost, The Cold Place, Saratega, and Heartbreak Hill. Looks like Threxy is going to ban Red Comet, taking it right out of the map pool. Both players take turns banning 2 maps. So it's going to be... All right. Bento. Your go. Once I get these guys underway, I might try and help out with some of the other people, and then we'll jump back into this game and we can watch it. Since this is basically determining one of our semi-finalists. Pretty ridiculous. But I'm happy about it. Not interested in playing... Oh, okay, well... hold on, I gotta take this down. Firm. Threxy. Oh, and somebody joined. Okay, hold on. Wait. Sorry, this is private. Yeah, that's bummer. Lock it, please. Ring everybody. Okay. TY. Okay. Heartbreak. So we have Red Comet, Paradise Lost, and Heartbreak for Threxy. All right, Bento. Last ban. Current list they still have to choose from is going to be Acidus Crack, Comet Catcher, Cold Place, and Saratega. Acidus, Cold Place, Saratega, Comet Catcher. Affirm. Okay, and then Threxy first map. It is just from these three. Acidus, Saratega, and Comet Catcher. The drama, the suspense. Yeah, 13 to 14 hours, something like that. I did the quick maths, but I don't know if it was correct. Sarada first map, all right. And second map. Bento. Oh, yeah, that's a little weird. Not sure why the start boxes went all crazy. Looks like they're fine now. I think that's map standard. Yep, looks like it. That's this. All right. You guys are ready. Go ahead whenever and PM me the results on Discord. GL. Go ahead and whenever and PM results on Discord. Yeah, okay. They're all set up. That's great. We can jump back into this match. Actually, we'll stay spectating this match just in case it kicks me out. So yeah, we'll just we'll just stay in there because frankly, I don't trust the system right now. Whatever is working. Looks like we're trying to figure out in the chat exactly what's going on. Let me look over here. See the Pro League. Okay. Threxy and Bento is started up. Is Outlaw Elite here? Oh, maybe we're just going to DQ him in the next round if he doesn't show up. Okay. The last. Let me just ask. Does anyone and their opponent need assistance before we start to spectate? How much time does your opponent have? Not much by now. Affirm. Go ahead and set up for a game against Cocky then. X Factor Live is rejoining with Preteric. Looks like there was a little bit of a crash right there. Not to worry whatsoever. Lob Choice and Kaki are working out their agreement in chat. Yeah, looks like they're figuring it out. I'm gonna hop into commentator's box too, just in case, and see how things go. There we go. Okay. right, Bento and Threxy are ready to start their match. I'm just double checking to make sure that there's nothing else that anybody needs of me here. Threxy and Bento are going. Goopy and Tassol are going. Snoopa and Skag are going. Looks like Nuke Official was put all the way into the forward bracket. And CJ, OP, and Choice. Well, Choice right now is just waiting on CJOP, but CJOP hasn't shown up, so I think he's going to be moving on against Khaki. He's going to be moving on against the to fight X Factor and Predator who are in their game, so the lobbies are all underway. Let's take a look at the game of Bar, folks. Spawning in the southeastern corner, representing the blue. It's going to be Threxy, dressed up in that Cortex colors. We've seen a lot of Cortex today. It's been a long day of Cortex, and by this point I'm well familiar with these maps and the intricacies of them. I think these players probably are too, at least if they've been watching any of these series so far. You get a little bit of experience for it, right? Anyway, Threxy showing us what he's got here, and you can see that, yeah, building that bot lab is going to be super powerful on this map, as our friend from the previous cast pointed out. Taking these hills right here is easily done with the bots, but it's very impossible for the vehicles to get on up there. So it's a little bit of a tactical decision to go for bots here instead of bots, or instead of vehicles, which is fairly standard. Pardon me, by the way. I'm gonna be a mess casting this. I'm just gonna do my very best. I know you folks will stay with me, and we'll all get through this together. Bento here, mirrored across the match. He's going to be also playing as Cortex, getting some grunts across the field, and I'm excited to see the action. I think the grunts are probably the right move here, not to mention also all the metal that's left over in the middle of the map. If we take a little look at the metal reclaim field, I also would like to apologize in advance if my Discord goes off. I will let you know if it's my Discord so that you don't have to check yours. I will do my best because, yeah, I cannot afford to have it silenced like I usually do, because there might be people that ping me and need my attention. So I do apologize for that unprofessionalism, but we do what we must, right? We make do with as many moderators as we can. I try to help out any way I can anyways. Several hundred metal left over in the middle of the map from all of these rocks here, so whoever can claim that is going to get a nice little boost in the early game, and it looks like Threxy is in a position to do so, especially considering, well, there's no reclaim bots out yet for Bento. Bento, of course, thinking the same thing, but the reclaim bot is a little bit further behind. He has more units on the front, but he needs to trade those immediately. Otherwise, he's just going to eventually end up with an equal-sized army, but less metal overall. Ooh, a little bit of miss micro right there. He does manage to, on Threxy's behalf, I mean, Bento does manage to snipe that Resbot, and that is a really, really nice start to this game. Going to be denying all that juicy metal in the middle of the map that his Resbot is going to be greedily slurping up and putting back into his own economy. Something we've seen a lot of players struggle with today. Thanks a ton, James. I really appreciate it. The love and support from you guys is really what gets me through each and every one of these. One of the things we've seen a lot of people struggle with through these series here has been the power issues, running out of power. Is his commander trapped in there now? His commander might be trapped in here. Maybe his commander can walk through the bot lab there. Anyways, yeah, getting power up is oftentimes the critical issue that a lot of these players face here. They fail to get any sort of meaningful power up. What I like to do is take two constructors and get them to build a array of advanced solar panels like this, just too wide, and with two of them working on it, you can produce enough advanced solar panels quickly enough that you're going to scale your economy at a slow enough rate that you don't completely drain your metal and your energy, but you still get that growth eventually, and soon enough you'll have plenty of metal to even tech transition if you want to, or just to go straight into a proper T2. Now of course you can supplement that with even more economy by going for wind turbines. That's also another excellent option here. Decent little trade for Threxy in the middle of the map. Yeah, sniping quite a few of those grunts. He does have a Resbot to eat up all the metal here, chasing away the forces in red with the forces in blue, making sure to eat up all of that juicy metal flesh laying around all over the place there, reinforcing constantly the grunts on the front line, trying to build out some constructors as well. You have to choose the right moment, right? You have to make sure that you get those constructors out in between the waves right here. If he loses one of these pushes, that's going to be a really, really huge hit for the economies here of Threxy. Sorry, thought I heard something. I've got my candles out and everything. I've got my incense burning. This is as beautiful a game of bar as I've ever witnessed. Oh boy, I'm just double checking the chat right now while we're waiting on this chat. Goopy is rechecking in, trying to see who's where. Scuffsen got DQ'd. Okay, yeah, we are still good. Nobody needs me. As I failed to hide, we are trying to standardize the password so that essentially random people can't just join in, but apparently there's extra steps you have to take. I guess you have to do something else. Beyond all reason. What a game. This is a nice little res right here, managing to pick up the enemy's res bot and fold it back in. I'm not sure if that was a res bot for the red player that went down earlier on, or whether that was a blue res bot that was killed. Either way, it's a nice little revive. There is some grunts moving around on the southern side, thinking about getting aggressive here, and I really like to see it. Bento just pumping out more and more units. I love that he's continuing to expand. He's using those exploiters from Cortex, which are so powerful, especially in the early game here. The res bots picking up as many of these grunts as possible, reinforcing the front lines from the front lines. It's very important trade. Oh, not the engagement he's looking for, though. That is a huge trade in favor of the blue player, taking a massively positive engagement right there and losing control over the reclaim field. Do we have any res bots for the blue player? We do, but it's kind of misrallied right now. Yeah, this res bot needs to get its ass back into gear here. 537 metal worth of grunts is lying on the field. Losing this res bot is so tragic. Does go down. That's quite a pain. Love to see these res bots pick up that third res bot. Use your enemy's res bots against them. That is terrible. The res bots use units against your enemies units against them, but using their res bots against them, that's just even worse. Exponentially worse. Constructors are going to go around this way to build all these metal extractors, start to slowly step up that economy. I do like to see it. Couple of constructors building wind turbines, couple of constructors building energy converters, constructors all over the place building light laser towers and static defense all over in the northern and southern sides of the map, and then get a little bit of heavy defense in front of your base or around your base. That way you're particularly invulnerable to run-bys, and I think eventually you're going to be in a really nice position. Setting up these exploiters all over is really nice too. They can very quickly whittle down those thin forces from the grunts, right? If they don't commit a overwhelming amount of forces to flash that thing down super quickly, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. I was still trying to catch up watching last night's stream. Did I even get enough sleep? I did not sleep. I tried. I went and laid down for about 30 minutes and decided instead I would stream a little bit of Mindustry. So feel free to go check that out if you're looking for something else to catch up on. Played a little bit of Mindustry. That's a nice relaxing game. Fun to solve those puzzles. Very fun. Apparently there's a multiplayer in that game, so I'll have to investigate that, see if that's worth interacting with. Played a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3, that was fun too. Started a new campaign in there. Always a treat. What on earth happened here? Bento has somehow built a wind turbine in his production facility. That is atrocious right there. How is that even, how did that happen? How did we get here? Yeah, a little bit of a miscue right there as his lab was shut down because there's a wind turbine blocking the construction space. That's a bit odd, but it will eventually be resolved. All this metal was never actually eaten up by Threxy, despite having, I would say, solid control over it. He needs to get another resbot out. He's actually going into a vehicle transition right now, but he is completely out of metal. He could fund the rest of it off of the bodies laying on the floor here, but maybe he's preoccupied microing units around the field. We can see them moving around on the left-hand side. Not sure where these players are playing from either, so it could be that their micro is not perfectly accurate here. We're playing on the EU servers, but both of them are having a little bit of ping right now. Not the end of the world, a little bit of ping in this game, but certainly makes it much more difficult to micro accurately. When you're waving around fields of grunts, it's very difficult to micro them appropriately. That's a nice pick right there. He does manage to snag that construction worker. That's going to shut down the expansion towards the south that Bento was really looking for. Bento also going for that vehicle transition though, looking for a way to break through these enemy lines. Here we see the exploiter. No power on that bad boy though, so it will go down real quick. Yeah, no power to defend itself, so it will fall. That's going to be a costly mistake right there. Like I said, the power is just the biggest problem for all of these players right now. Finding a way to expand their power while also managing to keep their micro intact is very, very difficult. It's a delicate balance and easily one that's undone by a couple of runaway grunts that just get a lucky engagement, and eventually there's not a lot you can do. More and more grunts moving around the northern side of the map. This is a lot of harassment on the backside. It's keeping Bento extremely pent up right now. He has to dedicate a lot of forces to cleaning up as many of these as possible. The grunts are constantly attacking the economy, trying to make sure that they're getting as much value as possible. There's still a couple more down here. He hasn't quite cleaned up, but I think eventually these grunts are going to find them and eat them with their little laser beams. Meanwhile, aggression on the front-hand side, again capitalizing on that lack of energy, so these laser towers are not even firing at their full capacity. Really burns. And Bento is starting to feel the pressure here. You can see on the northern side of the HUD, you can see that Threxy is pulling in a whopping 45 metal per second, where Bento is only pulling in 18. The longer that goes on, the more of an advantage this is, of course, going to be for the blue commander, who already has a tremendous amount of the map claimed under his belt. A lot of that metal extraction was denied here by those runaway grunts. It's where that static defense becomes oh so important here. You can see a couple of light laser towers as well as exploiters coming up. We're going double exploiter. It's very powerful, but very expensive as well. Thug firing away, just trying its best, but not succeeding. Not very much anyway. A couple of tanks looking to get aggressive. Yeah, they're finding the right pathway here. These are exploiters down here, so they're a little bit tougher, but those tanks are definitely the right option for that. Bunch of grunts are going to be pulled away. We are mixing in rovers here, those very, very light scout craft. Very fast though, right? So they can slip past defenses where other units might fall. They are, of course, prone to laser fire, however, and so exploiters are going to be a perfect counter to those. Tanks down south will be jumped on in numbers. Massive, massive grunt wave there to stop those tanks. One of them will eventually retreat, but I don't think it's going to escape with its life, or at least not all of it. Whittled down to 62% before it is finally disengaged from. Little rovers all over the place are giving a nice little view advantage to Threxy, giving him the information that he needs right in the middle of the map. That is quite nice. Nice little aggression down south here. Posturing with the grunts to force the units in this direction while also moving his units up north. There are some thugs up here. Thugs can kite against a lot of these units, but they don't have that vision that they really desperately need right now in order to effectively trade against a lot of this. And those riot tanks are pretty sturdy. More than happy to jump on top of that exploiter and burst it down with those riot cannons they fire out of their snozzles. Very, very powerful weapon indeed. Difficult to explain just how versatile that weapon is, but effectively it counters the grunt, it counters the tank, it counters essentially anything because it slows it down, stops it, and allows you to get a really, really nice trade against whatever it is. Tanks here kind of bunching up in this little no-go zone. Every tank and their mother is trying to break through here, and currently we have 3 of them crammed in there, but maybe more. He does realize that he's going to start deconstructing it, but the build power here is really fantastic. That's another area we've seen people really struggle with today, is getting an appropriate amount of build power. And Bento, I'd say, is definitely falling behind in that aspect. That and the fact that he just doesn't have the metal to spend in the first place. Exploiters are very nice up north, but are they going to be enough? I really don't think so. He needs forces, and he needs them in multiple locations. He just doesn't have the mass at the moment. And you can see coming in with just such a significant presence at this point, more than tripling the economy of the red player. Threxy just has the advantage in mass numbers, that is. You can see all these units, all these grunts. That's 18 grunts and a rascal included for a little bit of vision. Very, very nicely done. Going to move up north to snipe some of these metal extractors, denying another 6.3 metal per second from the red commander, just stripping away as much of that economic lead as possible. Decide to change their minds and go after the base here. Or thinking about it anyways. This is a much better trade right now. Trading out some bots for tanks, probably not the best, or probably not the worst idea here. And less efficient as this trade goes on here. Yeah. Resbots are going to go down, the tanks are going to go down. Bento indeed decides to call it GG. I think that's an appropriate place to call it. He loses his main fighting force in the center of the map. Too many units dedicated to defending at home to really counterattack appropriately. That's going to be a swift point on the board here for Threxy. Nicely done to our blue commander. Very, very nicely done. Alright, let's pop back into the lobby. Next match is going to be on Istis, I believe. Yes, Istis. Okay. Start on my toasted waffles having a little bit of a meeting. Wonder what they're talking about in there. Let us see here. If anybody else's game is finished up. I'm looking at the bracket right now. Let me flip that on so you guys can see. There you go. Bento asking for a few minutes. That's well within the rules. Both players are allowed a break if they'd like. More than welcome to start up a little break. Meanwhile, X Factor Live, Cocky, and Skag, Snoopa, Predator choice. All these top tier players are all going to be playing against each other here. Is Nuke Official here? It looks like Nuke Official's here. Apparently a little bit of a crash. Interesting. I am curious what they're talking about in there. While we have a little bit of a break here, we can discuss some of the map pools for anybody who didn't see qualifier number 1. That, of course, is up and available online in case you'd like to go take a look at it at some point. But we have on this map quite a few lowland, very flat open maps. Isidis, Comet Catcher, Red Comet, and Saratoga all easily fall into that category. We have Paradise Lost, which is a naval map, which I'm super excited for. I really hope we get a chance to look at some players play that map. It is a fun one for sure. The Cold Place is another interesting one. There's a lot of geothermals. There's a lot of metal. So if you're looking for macro play, you're looking for really interesting tech transitions. It's the only one that I think I've seen anybody pull off a full-blown T2 transition on both sides, both player 1 and 2. And then there's Heartbreak Hill, which is a bit more of an interesting terrain of a map. It's got very complex terrain to navigate. It's very difficult to navigate, but it also rewards a very skilled commander, and I think that's I think that's important. Looks like we are getting ready for the matches here. Trying to see who else is starting up their game. Don't want to leave this lobby because I don't believe I'm going to be able to rejoin here. Maybe I can try, though. Maybe it'll be good for testing. Maybe it'll be good for testing. I'm going to try and leave. I'm going to let them know. I'm going to try to leave and rejoin using password. Okay, let's see. So it's not in here. It should be down here in the locked lobbies. Oh, I can't just join. Okay, interesting. I don't know why I'm able to join this match. I definitely shouldn't be able to. Not sure why it's not password. I suppose it did. Looks like, yeah, looks like Bento called for Istis Crack. I don't think Threxy is here. Let's see. Oh, Goopy already won his match. All right. So Goopy's going to be going up against the winner of Skag versus Snoopa. Once Skag versus Snoopa plays, it's going to be Neza versus the winner of that match, and whoever wins that is going to be going up against Goopy. Goopy was put into the higher seed, I believe, from the last one. Bento hopping off to go to the bathroom. No problem whatsoever. Let me see if I can join these other matches. Weird. Why am I able to join this one? I do not understand. It's locked. There should have been a password on it. I would have thought anyways. Yeah, I'm very, very confused. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, it looks like X Factor Live is having some technical difficulties with Predator. So that northern part. Oh, sorry. Let me bring this back up. There we go. That northern part of this this bracket here is having a little bit of technical technical difficulty. Choice moved on from a disqualification, so Kaki and Choice are going to be playing, and then the winner of that is going to be going up against the winner of X Factor Live and Predatorix match. And yeah, apparently X Factor Live is having a little bit of a technical difficulty. All these servers are being hosted on the EU servers because this is the EU time slot, as far as I'm aware. That's what I was told anyway. So that's that could be a case for people lagging out a little bit. I don't know. I often play on the EU servers anyway, and I don't seem to have too much of a trouble. I'm PDT California side, so I feel like I should be pretty far away and have some sort of disadvantage, but I guess not, which is pretty cool. All those packets racing across the internet to move my thug 1 foot to the left where it steps on a landmine and instantly explodes. Isn't it just beautiful? Isn't it just beautiful? Here's something that I wanted to work on in the background while you guys weren't looking. Oh, looks like they're ready to go for match 2. Maybe I shouldn't have hit this button. It's going to chop up the bitrate a little bit. This is not going to matter if I'm sitting in a lobby, though. I'm going to make a little soundtrack of music. I have been using this music for the Creeper World videos, so if you've watched any of those, you might be familiar with it, but I'm going to try and put it on. I figured a little bit of background music might be nice. Let me know what you think about that in chat. I'm trying to read chat and keep up with it, but I do have a 5-minute delay on chat, by the way, in case you're wondering why I'm not as responsive as sometimes I usually am. Yeah, that's the reason. Looks like they're going to start up their match here pretty soon. Might not have time to get this done. That's okay. I can always do this in between matches when there's idle time to go about it. Let me go ahead and turn that off. Get that off your screen here. Either way, very late or very early matches today. Both. It's very early for me, but I assume it's a more reasonable time for someone else. I hope it's not just an inconvenient time for everybody. I hope somebody benefits from it being at whatever time this is. European time. A lot of DQs and not as many signups today, so this tournament, or this qualifier should be a little bit quicker than the first one. The first one had a whole lot of people and they were all playing, and also it was our first qualifier, so we weren't exactly sure how to run it. Now we're a little bit more familiar. We kind of know exactly what we're doing. So hopefully things are going a little smoother. We will see. We are almost ready to start this match. There's going to be a Acidus Crack, named, of course, after the Acidus Crack, right in the middle of the map. Very identifiable landmark, right? Kind of just makes sense intuitively. Threxy is going to be spawning in the northeastern corner. It looks like Bento is going to be spawning in the southwestern corner. Bento opening with a GLHF with 2 exclamation points. That is a bold start, but Threxy counterattacking with a U2. That is another bold one. Threxy also notably going for Armada this time instead of going for Cortex, so we are going to have a proper Armada v Cortex matchup. Should be a lot of fun. I am excited to see it. Alright, now that I've got that up, I can play that at any moment, and hopefully you guys will hear some music. Hopefully. All things according to plan. Bento opening with, gonna be opening with metal extractors into wind turbines. On Istis Crack, wind turbines are more than welcome. 2 to 20 energy. That's definitely well above average here, so both players are probably going to be investing heavily in wind turbines. Wouldn't mind seeing, again, constructors moving around in big squares building those wind turbines. I really think that would be the way to secure victory here. They don't chain react if you build them 2 by X, right? You just build one wind turbine here and 1 wind turbine here, and then you build the whole row out in that direction. That looks a little graphic. Maybe I should get rid of that. They don't chain react when you build them like that, so it's definitely viable to send constructors to go do that. And then, you know, if a little run by happens, it's fine. You just patch up your wind fields and everything's all right. You can also spread them out like this, where you queue them up by holding left shift and left alt and drag a big square, and you press Z as in Zulu, in order to increase the size, and X is in exclamation point. That's not the right one. My phonetic poster fell on my head the other day, so I had to take it down. What is X? X is an X-ray, I guess, is what they usually say, which feels like cheating. I think I've said that before. Anyway, bot lab here for Bento. Not surprising. He seems very, very comfortable with those Cortex bots. However, Threxy has gone straight into the vehicle lab. Now, stalling on energy here as the energy is down to 7.1. He's going to need quite a lot more in order to sustain himself. Wouldn't mind seeing maybe 1 or 2 T1 solar panels just to get a little bit of consistent energy out on the field. But definitely got to make sure to reclaim those later on. Oftentimes, players get comfortable with the inefficiency of building T1 solar panels, but imagine how much more you could do if you weren't inefficient with your solar panels. If you did build those advanced solar panels, right? Just good habits to get into. Even the pro players, I really feel like we don't see all too often going for that. And I mean, at 40 true skill in 1 versus 1, certainly you're borderlining that pro level, right? So maybe I'm in no position to critique that sort of decision making, but certainly it's what I would go for. And I feel like I'm decent at 1v1s. I feel like I feel like I can hold my own. Certainly, I wouldn't settle a bet over it. I wouldn't bet my mother's life on it, but I could certainly do my own. Poking that T1 solar panel so it's forced to close up here. Not a lot, but every little bit helps, right? Just denying 20 energy per second here for Bento. It's very annoying, and now he has to be constantly worried about vehicles running around in his backline, wondering where those rovers have gotten off to. Will they be showing up? Will they be disappearing? You never know. Vehicles can get up on these high grounds, but bots cannot get up on these high grounds. So they're a very, very nice safe haven for bots to get up on. They can escape from vehicles by walking up these hills, which is a really interesting tactical move because it does mean that you can posture a whole bunch of really expensive bots over here on these high grounds. But if your enemy is going vehicles, they don't really have a way to aggress up the hill towards you, which means that you can kind of reinforce without having to worry about your units being locked in combat. Don't know if there's a way up to this hill though. That's a very steep cliff right there. Maybe they can walk up this side where it's a little bit slanted, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah, you might not be able to get up this hill. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see if some bots can get up there. Hold on. F5. No. 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 There it is. Mobility chart says no. Bots cannot get up on this hill. Okay. That's I call it mushroom vision, but yeah. That's the mobility reading for whether bots and, well, whatever unit you have selected, wherever it can traverse. And yeah, bot's not going to be able to get up on these hills right here, so you're going to need an aerial constructor in case you want to get up onto that spot. But still, not going to discredit these areas right here behind the bases there, where bots are only they're the only thing capable of getting up on there. How do they get into commentating, spectating? What's your origin story when you get a pause? I'll tell you my origin story after this match. How about that? I'll make you a deal. It's probably underwhelming, but I'll tell you the whole story afterwards. I'm liking the aggression from these blitzes. The blitzes are definitely very viable for sneaking around and doing a little bit of damage in the backline. Certainly doesn't take very much to kill, or well, the blitz doesn't have to kill very much in order to do damage in the back. You really aren't looking for you really aren't looking for that much of a trade in order to pay off the measly 109 metal out of a blitz. 2 metal extractors and you've almost efficiently paid for it, but in doing so you've probably already shut down enough economy over time as well that you've traded efficiently. So blitzes, in other words, they don't have to do very much work to be a very efficient unit. You can see this grunt was hiding up on that hill. Eventually it wanders down and will be sniped by these blitzes. Nicely done by Threxy to pay attention to that. That single grunt getting in the backline doesn't seem like it could do a lot, but certainly sniping a metal extractor or 2, or God forbid chain reacting all these wind turbines that are going to be built right next to each other. Oh no. Are those spaced out one? Oh, actually, I think those are spaced out one. Hold on, let me double check. Yes, they are. All right, nicely done. That's going to prevent a chain reaction, so that's good to see. Blitz is here. Trying to get an engagement. Trying, keyword. Grunts, you can. It takes a monumental amount of APM, but you can micro them against blitzes effectively, efficiently. It takes a monumental amount of APM. You have to constantly be aware of where the blitzes are going and matching their pace and their movement. And not in all situations is it applicable. Sometimes vehicles will move faster than bots if they get a terrain bonus. Not the case on this map, but on certain maps it certainly is. Especially free-for-all maps tend to have that sort of thing going for them. It's something to be aware of, because certainly you can be caught with your pants down when a unit is moving a whole lot quicker than you expected it to. In this case, the bots are going to have the luxury of the high ground here to retreat back up on top of, forcing those vehicles to move a little bit slower. Oh, yep, that's exactly what I was worried about. Those blitzes do turn around and manage to get within striking distance, and yeah, they will bite, and they will bite hard. Those pitbull Gauss cannons firing away off of their heads, the rapid fire close quarters plasma guns firing in rapid succession here to melt down a whole bunch of those grunts. That's really, really good to see. It's exactly the trade that I'm sure Threxy is looking for here. Kills a grunt right there with his commander. Says pew pew, and down you go. Resbot finally produced. That Resbot needs to start eating up these corpses. There it goes. Gonna start eating up the metal that's tied up over here. Gonna be going after this grunt first, but I really think you should centralize on this metal extractor, or this metal horde right here. The dragon's horde of metal scrap laying on the field. Yep, grunt's not really getting the trade that they're looking for. It is difficult. It is really, really difficult. Especially considering the terrain of this map. Yeah, it's a very, very difficult thing to do. Threxy is pushing very far forward with his commander. It's essentially necessary because he's gone for the vehicle start. You need to aggressively claim metal extractors with the vehicle start. Rover in the backline was just waiting for its time to strike, and you can see it melting away on this constructor here. Gonna snipe the metal extractor? Sure. Not a bad move whatsoever. Metal extractor comes up only to be shot down. Would love to see this guy focus down this constructor. No reason for it not to do a little bit more damage here. That's why those light laser towers are so important to build. If there's a lone metal extractor, you gotta cover it with a light laser tower, because otherwise there's just no other way you're gonna save it. What is this guy doing? Oh no, Resbot moved a little too far forward there and it will be sacrificed. Was that two of them? Oh no. Two grave robbers going down right here. That's an excellent pick for Threxy. Excuse me, Threxy, got my little drink here. Making me a little burpy. Do you think Bar will ever explore underground units? That is a interesting concept you got there. Some underground units. I immediately jumped to the tunneler, or whatever it's called, the miner in Clash Royale. Just like burrows underground to get to wherever he's going. The short answer is no, I don't think so. Maybe we'll see a unit that can like dig just barely under the surface or something, and it'll be like susceptible to artillery fire or something, but very, very resistant to light laser tower fire. Maybe that could work. I don't know. I have never heard anything like that. Underground units is a new one to me, but I like where your head is at. I like the innovation. I certainly do. You know, it's one of the beautiful things about this game is the fact that people can literally come out from anywhere and start to create interesting ideas that shape and change the way that people want to play this game. Certainly Dolphy, a contributor of that. That's the first guy that comes to mind, always producing some interesting builds. This is a big blitz parade push. He's kind of sending him across the map right now, trying to commit them to some sort of shenanigans. And it does force a lot of these units to be pulled away, but it's an excellent opportunity to finally move some units in for counter aggression. Blitzes from up north well, blitz singular from up north does come in. A couple wrapped around from the other northern side though. Those are going to kill some metal extractors back here too. Doesn't take too many blitzes to overwhelm a light laser tower, especially if you don't have the energy to fund them. Suddenly the blitzers are going to wrap on all of these light laser towers, or sorry, on the exploiters down south here, and the constructor that was still building that exploiter. The laser tower will go down, and that's going to be two more metal extractors following. Bento is being systematically picked apart here. Massive distraction from these blitzes up on the northern side, keeping all of the forces, all the relevant forces from Bento tied up, and this is a huge, huge advantage for Threxy, getting more than enough damage done with these blitzes, picking apart Bento. All he needs to do now is snipe the energy production, and he's effectively got Bento as a fish stuck in a barrel. Bento does eventually get a vehicle transition out and about here, as we've seen the medium tanks, and I don't think that's necessarily the wrong idea, but the only way he's going to get back into this game now is with a whole bunch of resbots picking up all of these metal extractors, all these constructors, essentially negating the damage that's been done here, but a lot of it is irreversible, and you can see the pressure is still applied by the units still lingering around. Now that's some nice aggression over here. Medium tanks rolling through. I do like to see it. Gonna start blasting away at whatever they can, popping metal extractors, popping radar towers, and popping light laser towers. All very, very nice to see. Medium tanks again, trying to get a little engagement over here. Not trading as effectively as you'd hope against those blitzes. Man, are they powerful. Especially when they get into numbers. They're just so maneuverable. They really can start to tear apart your units here. Blitz, or the tanks rather, will survive. He can go in for some more aggression. Tank does get into the back line of the main facility here for Threxy, who is going to power build out a light laser tower to deal with this. Tank, of course, can move. That's why it's better than static defense. My now infamous quote of units are a lot like static defense, except better because they're not static, or whatever I said. Or like I think I said units are static defense, except they can move, which makes them better. Movable static defense. I don't know. You get the idea. Blitz manages to just park on through. Sitting in the back line. Oh no. Oh, this is a dangerous army right here. This is Threxy saying, I'm ready to kill you whenever you'd like. I can just move this army in for the money shot on the commander. That's 7 Januses, and it's more than enough to one-shot a commander if they get in close. There's not really enough units to deal with this many Januses. You need a stream of cheap light units to beat out all the shots, and then you need heavy hitters to mop it all up afterwards. Sending in tanks like this, not going to trade efficiently, no. Yeah, those Januses are more than happy to fire away from long distance. Yeah, we're trying to get the engagement here. Threxy tiptoeing because he knows that if he loses these Janus, he's going to be in a bad way. If he uses them properly, he might be able to secure the total domination here, the total annihilation, if you will. Just constantly checking my Discord here, make sure that everything is A-okay. Yep, everything looks good. Everything does look good. All right, nicely done. Blitz continuing the aggression down here, continuously denying those metal extractors. It's why you got to put up the laser towers first before going for the metal extractors. That way your constructor has some sort of coverage. Januses do find that engagement down here, although not all of them. If they were in a tighter formation, they definitely could all fire, and then that would be, I mean, it'd be nice, right? Certainly be ideal. You want all your Januses to fire, and then you want them all to retreat. So many medium tanks now, though, and I think Threxy is essentially ready to engage with this army. He realizes he just has the numbers, and he can just win this game by sending his force in a big old attack move. Now, he has to not friendly fire his own units, for one, but also he has to find the commander and trade effectively here. Commander reveals itself. There it is. Januses can start to fire. Bento realizes that this army right here for the blue player is too big to handle, and that is going to be Threxy winning a second game, putting another point on the board. Very, very nicely done. Excellently done, and that is going to be Threxy moving on to the next bracket, I believe. I think that's 2-0. Could be wrong about that. Marty losing track of the score. Is that GG? I lost count. Affirm. GG, guys. All right, that's going to be Threxy winning his game here. Very nicely done. Let's see. Do I have permission to edit this? I don't believe I do. I don't think I was given permission to edit this. All right. Let's see here. How do I... Oh, there we go. All right. Pull this back up. So that was... Let's see here. That was Bento and Threxy. And Threxy managed to take the W. Not sure where this is leading me. Can I edit this? I don't know if I can edit this. Okay. I'm going to have to contact an admin. An actual admin. Need one of you guys to update score sheet Threxy to 0 versus Bento. Threxy win. I'll at admins. They're gonna be pissed at me, but I'll you know, I don't have another way to do it. All right, so Outlaw Elite is gonna be up against Threxy here. Is Outlaw Elite here is the question. Sleepy Threxy versus Sleepy Goopy. Outlaw Elite, last call. Oh. Are you playing? Outlaw, you can still play if you'd like. Outlaw has not been DQ'd yet. He was just the lucky one. Gamer 21 was chosen. Out. You're up, or do you need to go? Oh, well, Elite has the floor here. Sorry, I need my cursor. I can't do this without my cursor. Okay, play. Boss TNT. Let me set this up. Outlaw says it's not a good time. All right, in that case, Threxy is going to move on here. And it's going to be Threxy versus the winner of Skag versus Goopy. Is Skag v Goopy going down right now? All right. You are waiting for Skag v Goopy to finish. Hang tight. All right. I'm going to hop out of this one. I'm going to find Skag and Goopy. Somebody around here has got to be Skag and Goopy. All right. There we are. All right, lovely. Preset tourney is enabled. I'm going to assume these guys have their maps figured out. Yeah, day 2 of the tournament. Get hyped. All right. You guys figure out map bans and whatnot already. Awesome. All right, we're going to watch Goopy versus Skag. And the winner of Goopy versus Skag will go on to fight Threxy in the winners semifinal. So that'll be, this is the match that's up next. Nuke Official, I guess, is waiting on sort of this top bracket to resolve. So X Factor Live and Preteric are still playing their game. I believe there's also the losers bracket that is happening right now. Which is hilarious because people are going all over the place. I'm still showing you guys that. Sorry, hold on, let me pull that back up. So you guys can see the bracket here. There's the losers bracket right here. The way this works is the 2 players that make it to the winners final right here, and the 2 players that make it to the losers semifinal. Both of these players, or all 4 of those players, will qualify for the official tournament, which will be on September 30th. So be sure to show up to that one. That's going to be the official, you know, the big bucks right there. I think it's like a $600 total prize pool. It's massive. It's a massive prize pool. I mean, for beyond all reason, right? Like, this is a big old community event. Community events, of course, made possible by viewers like you. Thank you. My little PBS announcement over with. I do sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for showing up, though. Skag complimenting the map. It's a rare opener, but it is effective here. In fact, to sate my own needs here, I'm gonna crack open a cold, ice cold Pib Extra. One of nature's treats. The harvest was bountiful this year, and the Pib Extras are fruiting. Lovely. Are we allowed to chat? Let's keep it to a minimum. That was my Discord, by the way. Don't go checking yours. Oh, somebody messaged me here. Interesting. Somebody thanked me for showcasing the games. Very cool. I don't mind a little back and forth chat, but I think official tournament rules do specify that players are not supposed to communicate. They're supposed to stay focused on the game. You know, don't want anybody to give or gain any kind of advantage because of you know, inferences. They've already shared that it's a time difference. Playing at 4 a.m. by the way. Wow, I thought 1 a.m. was bad, right? Yeah, a lot of people DQ'd. It happened in the first game too. I'm not surprised. You know, I'm sure it varies from person to person. Maybe they just weren't willing to get up at the time. Maybe they were busy. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to monitor and keep things flowing, keep things rolling. Skag deciding to spawn in the far bottom left-hand corner. It's a little bit of an interesting spawn. It doesn't allow you to expand nearly as quickly, but it does offer you the security of this mountain pass right here, which you can easily fortify with just a couple of laser turrets to make it almost impossible to push through there. Just a couple of light walls and some light laser turrets, you're going to be in a really good spot. Match start times were not established. It was more like the overall event start times. Maybe we should have established individual match start times, though. Maybe that would have made things a little bit smoother. We are working on it, working on improving it as things go by. If you'd like to contribute to the discussion on how to improve things, unfortunately, although I wish it were more useful, my current YouTube chat is not really the place to do it. If you'd actually like to contribute and you want to help us make this a more smooth and enjoyable experience, what you can do is head on over to the link that I will actually just drop in the chat right now. No reason not to do it that way. Give me 1 second here. Announcements, no. No. Here it is. I'll drop the announcements in chat, and what I will be giving you is the... Oh no, sorry, that's the wrong thing. Well, here, what I'm going to give you is the link to the sign-up sheet. And I believe there's a place where you can leave comments. And I think we're planning on going through the comments afterwards. I might be wrong about that, in case that is true. It's likely that it's true. I'm also going to. I think we're allowing people into the Discord. I have to double check on that. Actually, I don't want to give out that Discord without suddenly. You know, I don't want to influx a whole bunch of people suddenly, right in the middle of this game. But I think after these matches, we will open up the Discords again, so you can sign up. There is going to be 2 more qualifiers, one for NA and one for EU. This is the EU version, by the way. And if you'd like to sign up for those, you're more than welcome to. But also in that Discord that has the rules and everything, that's that'll be open and available for anybody. A little bit of self-destruct micro down here. Very nicely done by Skag, denying that wreckage to Goopy. Goopy says OP. Taking a swift drink here. Seems like a lot of confusion. Just grab the 8 players remaining and do an FFA to decide the winner. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Oh, the bit rate is low. Uh-oh. Hopefully that fixes itself here. Oh, it's because the stream latency is set improperly. Ah, I can't edit that midstream. Yeah, I can't change that midstream. That's pretty annoying. Hopefully the stream quality isn't horrendous. Oh, it is pretty horrendous, isn't it? Oh my. Terribly sorry about that. I hope this kind of clears up here eventually. I'm gonna let it go. After this match, we might shut down the stream and re-host it again. That way we can make sure that the bitrate is actually fine. There's already a delay on this, so there's no reason for me to stream it at low quality. Goopy going for a very forward bot lab here. Sorry, I've been a little distracted about commentating this match. I've been talking about other stuff. I also failed to share my my background story.